Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and last time we had another successful run going up to the surface, and technically, we got the last of the major crafting resources that we need, at least to permanently defeat Typhon. Then, for the recipe to permanently defeat Chronos, we need at least one more drop from Chronos himself, technically two if we want to do both the Typhon and Chronos craft, so we may just need one more run, possibly two, to get to the true ending. So, for that reason, and because the bonus weapon here is the staff, I'm thinking maybe we do a little bit of a throwback run here. It's been a while since we last used the aspect of Millennium on the staff, but maybe we go that route here, because this is, of course, the starting weapon and starting aspect on that weapon. It was actually stronger in early access. I believe it was either plus 60, might have even been plus 80 at max rank, so it has been weakened since then. Technically need to go
this
here.
Has first this eve. My form.
So bonus magic and base special power, I mean that is a lot, still, with our basic special. Which has also been, reworked a little bit since the early access, so I'm not really used to this. It's a little slower, at least it feels like it, but it has basically infinite range, it feels like. Okay, and then what if we continue mixing things up a little bit here, rather than going with the gold purse, which has been incredible for us, I know, maybe we'll take it on a later floor. But what if we go with the silver wheel here, which is very close to ranking up and gives us even more magic, and then we basically just commit from the onset to going crazy on spending magic and hopefully using hexes. Then it's been, I couldn't even tell you how long since we last used Chronos.
It seems we have a new disciple.
Who was our first disciple. I'm not sure we've treated him at all, to the point where I kind of forget what some of his bonuses are. He gives the automatic shade minigame completion. He gives us, I think, a little bit of flat life. He can potentially block projectiles, although I always questioned how much value that was really giving. But what else can he do? What else can we actually upgrade? Let's see. So we can get a little more life. It starts out at just 20. Oh no, we have upgraded that once already. Okay. Can make it more likely to find the shades. Oh, he doesn't do any damage from the onset, but you can change that. You can make him start doing some by leaping into enemies with this. Okay, that just wasn't even a factor before. I do think the life bond is probably still the most interesting. But maybe we'll continue treating him, because we have one or two familiars that are getting pretty high up there in the levels.
Those must be tasty.
So I think Chronos was lagging behind quite considerably, and we have our fair share of these Witch's Delights still.
My friend.
So we'll catch up a little bit here. 20 damage when leaping into foes. I mean, that still feels like that's very minor. Compare that to, I mean, I don't know how often he's really doing that. So maybe it's happening all the time and it's effective for that reason, but compare that to Golly, for example, whose damage only applies a maximum of 3 times per floor, but when it does, it's 400 damage, so it's an order of magnitude more from Golly, but
join me?
We'll bring Chronos, not because he's better, I'm not sure that he is, that's why we haven't really been bringing him as of late, but for nostalgia's sake, what I'm also thinking is that although we could go crazy on the fear here, we'd need to get 10 or more to get the bonus on the staff. We'd have to defeat Cerberus. That would likely mean we'd go, have to do more than triple rival, so it'd either be this plus a little bit more, or it'd mean going quadruple rival, which we have tried once before we got to the final fight, but we did not win. But I feel like on what could be a very important run here, maybe we keep it simple.
No need for recklessness.
Back to the basics, and let's give it a shot. So I don't think this would be our final run overall for campaign completion. There's a chance that's the key. No, I think we still need, let's do a quick check, because the key thing we're trying to pick up is this right here, the Zodiac Sand. We have enough Void Lenses now for that permanent defeat of Typhon. We need one more of these to defeat Chronos permanently, and one more on top of that, because we also need one for the Typhon permanent defeat as well. So I think we'll need at least one more run going down for that reason. And I don't know even once we make those recipes if it's just going to be immediate, alright, Chronos is dead, Typhon is dead, or if we're going to have to do another run to actually go to those boss fights and go, haha, see, we have completed an important incantation and now you are done for. So maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but let's see. Our attack hits 2 times, but uses more magic. We haven't used this yet. All of these are attack-oriented, and our aspect is all about the special. So this is a bit unfortunate. All these I do usually like having attack builds, but these would be great from that standpoint. I guess we'll go with this, mostly just because we haven't taken it yet. And because we did take additional magic with our keepsake, which has now upgraded. We could actually run out of magic just hanging out here, even with no enemies, because it still uses magic. But we have a lot to work with, so I think we'll be okay on that front. Does mean it'll be very easy to charge up our hexes once we get one of those, at least. That is a chaos room. Damage is quite good. In case you doubted that statement. Oh. Okay, that timing is a little bit unfortunate, because although it is, yes, an extra nectar for us to use, there's no boon for it to upgrade. Okay, so early chaos is obviously ideal. Would have been nice to have gotten an actual boon of some variety from a boon-giving god or goddess, but we'll go here. Hopefully we get the chance to get more upgradable stuff before we next run into a nectar room, but fishing spot, I think I did botch the previous fishing attempt. Hold on. Okay, that was a quick one, but we got it.
Another Progelli.
And then did I see a little bit of lore here, or was that just a little flash? Because this is the chaos room. I think maybe the latter.
Exploring the surface of this world, where my influence is comparatively limited, I was amused to consider the possibilities, though I did anticipate you would return.
Okay, let's see. Next 2 boons limited to common blessings. Afterward, we get magic restoration. Tons of magic stuff. Tons of magic stuff, which one could argue is a little bit overkill, or you could say, no, we're just going all in on magic restoration. I mean, this does make future Narcissus difficult. However, because we did not initially take the coin purse from Charon, if that becomes a floor 2 or floor 3 keepsake, then that might mean that Narcissus is out of the rotation here. This would also be very good, especially, you know, getting stunned is bad, but getting a 60% chance for better boons for the remainder of the run this early on, I think this can pay off big time for us. This is even more magic. Sure. Sure. Okay, so I think it was 3 encounters for this Chaos Boon evolves, and I did immediately get hit. I was wondering if, because I think this might be our first time taking this, or if so, then it's our first time actually getting hit while we had this Chaos Boon. I wasn't sure if you get hit multiple times in quick succession, if the stun effect is basically permanent, or if they can stun lock you. Fortunately, they were not able to stun lock me there. That's 1 encounter down. Okay. So, area of effect, decent percentage damage. Technically, a curse that applies the damage tends to work better for slower moves. I mean, initially, I was thinking this was going to be all about the specials, but that's, at least based on a pretty significant hammer upgrade, maybe not the case. I don't think this works well with our hammer or with our, attack hammer upgrade. For the special, though, it could still be quite good. I think this still makes more sense, though. Okay, all the armored enemies, I'm not thrilled to see them, because we can't stun them until they are armorless. And stunning them is pretty important when we get stunned, if we get hit. So the timing is unfortunate in that way, although we can do this. Which, even with no boons, just from the aspect alone, gives us enough power that is pretty solid. Maybe we should have done that in the previous room, then.
Confronted Polyphemus, have you then?
We have.
That is the sort of help Chronos employs. A hollow fool, but strong, admittedly. No sneaking past him, I'm afraid. We've tried.
Indeed. Okay, so let's see. Attack boon, we would like for that to be very good. Again, we're kind of in that situation where rare boons are in that awkward territory, but if we're passing on Narcissus, then we can kind of accept that that's just gonna be a necessary evil. This is the highest rarity. It's the magic restoration. If we take this, then we are almost immediately good for the rest of the run with magic. No other support necessary. Otherwise, we get the sprint. I mean, obviously this would be the best in terms of immediate value, but it's just a matter of how picky do we get. I'll get picky.
By her grace.
Oh. So that's unfortunate timing on a mini-boss. Chaos Boon is not yet evolved, and we just took something that was a short-term sacrifice for a potential benefit long-term. I think we go Arachne here. We did also learn a little bit more about Arachne's situation recently. This should be an automatic compel.
Do your thing.
From Chronos. Been a while since we've been able to do that. That is nice.
Thin as hair. And back again. Blue and black and burgundy. Silk of...
Hello again.
Hello, Arachne.
Have you been getting anywhere, my friend? I know that whatever you do not give up. But I don't rightly know how close you are to what you mean to achieve.
We do seem to be getting quite close at this stage.
I'm closer than before, but how much further I have left is difficult to say. Your silk has been of so much help.
The other thing worth noting is that we were talking earlier about how close we're getting with the major crafting resources from defeating the final bosses in either direction. But there is still a mystery resource that we need for both of those crafting recipes. We don't know what that is, how difficult it's going to be. I assume we only need one for each of those recipes, although there's a chance we need multiple. So that could mean it'll take a lot longer still.
I'm glad it has, and figured that it would. Only the very best for you. And one of these nights you'll make it all the way. And maybe with my silk.
I think that actually is an achievement to finish a run with still having your costume, the silk from Arachne, intact, which we've not done. I think we somewhat recently made it quite far. I think the furthest we have ever gotten with it, but that is oftentimes not the case. And if you take a more defensive setup, if you take a setup that gives you extra armor, then that is definitely the easiest way to make that happen. And we did not really go that route this time. So I'm not thinking we're making any attempts of that sort this go-round. Use less magic than before to recharge. Oh, wait. Wait, huh? The phrasing is a little odd here, because it isn't... I don't think this means we're using less magic. It means that our hex recharges 30% more quickly, functionally. We don't have a hex at the moment. We would like to have a hex soon, but that's speculative at this stage. I mean, honestly, this could go away immediately, but it's kind of the only thing that benefits us right now.
Thank you, Arachne.
Oh, still very unfortunate timing. It is another mini-boss, but... I think we're going here.
Do come again, won't
And we still get money, even if there's no enemies in here. And here's Selene. Okay, so this actually works out quite well. And we have just enough money to get all this stuff. Didn't quite need the extra gold just from walking into this room with the new Arachne silks, but it was almost a factor. Okay, so let's go... I guess we'll do this first. Obviously, we don't know which god or goddess this is going to be, but it might influence which hex we want to take, because we may see the duo potential. So we'll go here. It's Poseidon. Okay, whenever we claim rewards... Oh, the earlier you get this, the better it is. We're going with a lot of long-term stuff here thus far. I think it is possible to get double of these from that boon.
This one.
At least
least you proved to be a suitable distraction for Typhon last night. You shall have other opportunities to vanquish him, perhaps after the Titan Chronos falls to you this eve.
Also, I think this is our first time... Is this our first time buying a Selene boon in a shop as of the early access? Or as of the full release, I should say. Because they changed the price of Selene boons in the shop numerous times. I think they were not sure what it should have been worth, because at first I think it might have even been more than normal boons, because in a way the Hex is the replacement for the calls from Hades 1, which is sort of your ultimate ability, so it would make sense from that standpoint to think, oh, it should be worth more. But on the other hand, I am guessing that a lot of people chose not to take them, because in the short term they are not great, but in the long term they can be incredible. So how do you balance that out? I think it was 60 when I last was buying one from a shop, so I'm a little surprised to see it's 100 here. Obviously, we've purchased some from mini shops, a whole lot, but I don't think I can't remember buying one for 100 from a full-blown Charon shop, ever. Okay, so this is exactly why I took the one that we just took, the boon from Poseidon. Wait, is this from Poseidon? No, this is actually the Hera one. Everything moves slower, or we get the big blast. I mean, we've done it a bunch of times before. And this one is, It can be really good with the Hera support. Obviously, it's stronger. It is kind of conditional upon whatever enemy you happen to be able to summon, and then in large boss fights, if they have several rounds of adds, you might have a good add to summon at the beginning, but then if you kill other stuff in the meantime and you want to reactivate your Hex, it might be a lot weaker second time around. Especially against Chronos, that can definitely happen. So I'm wondering if, especially given how much magic we have, this one costs more to set up, but we've a lot of magic use, even with our just basic attack. So I think we could still use this quite aggressively. I'm going to go for it, even though it's not the duo. What happens if we hit Charon with it? Hey, Charon. I'm sorry, man. I had to do it for science. Okay, so we'll do this too. So even though we did not take the Charon coin purse, we still were able to purchase everything here. Now, this was not the penultimate room. There will still potentially be another shop at the end of there should be another shop at the end of this floor. We could instead opt for taking the quote-unquote free boon on the other side, or whatever other type of upgrade it might be, since we may not have much money at that point. I think I might deliberately skip the mini-boss. And it's not because the reward is bad. The reward definitely is better. Not a huge fan about picking up the magic when we already have a lot. It's because we still have the stun from Chaos. And also, we still have this... Ooh, hello. We still have... That's a bad place for you to spawn in. This Arachne Silk. Please don't do that. Do you see those brambles? Theoretically, if I just run and let the Hex do the work, it should finish the job. Okay. So there we go. I believe that was the Chaos Boon. Oh, nope. The Chaos Boon evolving. So now our boons will have a higher chance to be rare.
Yes.
There's magic that we... Oh. Here's a mini shop for you. Don't need this. It's kind of overkill. Would have been kind of nice. But we'll pass. And we will we'll go for the, well, this is magic, a little bit of magic, a little bit of life. We definitely could use life more than we could use magic, except that I like the bones. So I'm gonna go with this anyway. The special does not have unlimited range, but it is very long range, which especially in encounters such as this, is very useful. I do wonder if this is gonna be the only wave of enemies. There are a lot of them. Okay, no, it's not the only wave. In fact, these guys have armor, which does automatically make them a pain in the butt. Nope. Ooh, there's another one that I didn't even see. That's not really the one that I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit that guy. There we go. Okay, trying to play it slow and steady.
Tucked away.
Keep it safe. Oh, there's Sea Star. The Poseidon Boon activating for more bones. A little more magic. So yeah, magic should not be a problem at this stage. As I said, I think we're already just about fine permanently on that front. But the bones are useful.
Got a bite.
There we go.
Another MOBA.
Okay. We do have a boon that I believe is... I think you can upgrade this as well. So, there is something to be gained from that passively. Or, well, in terms of this run. And then this one, again, would be life. But I think we're going to try to go this route. We've at least gotten a little bit of extra money from the silk. Which is saying something, since this is one of, if not the lowest armored silks. So, the easiest one to lose. Okay, please don't do that. Wish we had just a little more damage on this, so then we could actually get these guys with 2 hits rather than just barely needing 3. That is unfortunate. Assuming you're going to continue to advance on me. There we go. So yeah, Sea Star gets upgraded. Now it's a 35% chance to proc. Again, higher that number is, the earlier we get that number, the more impactful it is. Okay, so this is where we're definitely going to go money, and the combination of the outfit... Okay, this is where we lose it. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. There is no escape. Is that it? No, we somehow did not take damage from that. I don't know how. Who's left? You are left. I don't understand. I thought we only had 5 armor, and then we took a hit and we still have 5. Maybe we had 10? There might be one other silk that has 0, or has only 5 armor to start off with rather than 10, in which case that is the hardest to maintain. But I think it gives you even more value, the ones that have the low armor, because it's sort of a risk-reward type of situation. So the fact that we've gone this far with it is quite useful. It means we could potentially justify going in here. We'll get a little bit more money, which means we could still get a full-blown boon. We could get a palm. We could almost get a palm plus a heart, but we're 1 coin away from that, which is why I scoffed. If there is a golden urn that could potentially go a very long way, that is obviously theoretical at this stage. Otherwise, we go here, we save the money, we get a free heart, which I guess is... It's almost just as good as what we get here. So, maybe we do this regardless. There's no way of knowing that the shop was actually going to be any better than that. And we certainly would have spent money in the shop. Okay, so this is normal Hecate, right? We did not activate any fear at all, I don't think. So, I mean, I have to imagine Hecate is going to hit us at some point. It may be base Hecate, but I have to imagine she's going to hit us at some point.
Returned from above. Whether 'tis wise to speak the vow of rivals is for you to decide.
She's like, oh, you deactivated it, I see.
The wisdom in rescinding that one. I'd not wish to face me at my best either.
Alright.
I may not be finished with that vow just yet, Headmistress. I wonder what else you're holding back, if you possess such power you suppress by will of night alone.
Do wonder, by all means. And should you require more of an advanced test of your aptitude, I shall be waiting.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just one of those things where it doesn't really benefit you to go halfway with the fear, at least once you've started to do it a fair bit, because either we bump it up a fair bit in order to get that bonus, or we do nothing, because there's little to nothing to be gained from just activating a tiny bit. Trying to hit this one. Oh, that is the real Hecate. That is convenient. range is quite useful. And the fact that even just a normal, unbooned special is doing this much damage, slow as it may be. Oh, and we do have the Hex as well. I want to wait for her to do her first phase. We're actually kind of close to that. That miss. And which one is the real Hecate? It was not you, it was you. Okay, that was a little closer than probably would have liked that to have been. That wasn't the real Hecate anyway. Just waiting for you to phase. Like this. Okay, there are enough little projectiles here that we very well could just get poked, because that's all it takes at this stage. I messed that up. I messed that up. Yep, there it goes. Oh no, we have resistances against Hecate. Right. That was close. Why are we doing 120? Huh? Okay, if that were just a little bit quicker to come back, that would have been very useful. Please step ever so slightly toward me. That did hit you, though. Perfect. It's not really where I wanted to get trapped. Yeah, why did we have, yeah, why is it doing 120 now? It's doing 80 before.
For the underworld.
Now, see this.
She's not that far away from phasing again, but the next one is phase that's kind of difficult to avoid getting hit on, because...
That hex was meant for you.
Huh? What? How come we didn't get hexed? Did it hit one of her teammates? I've never seen that happen before. I don't understand.
Conserve your strength.
Whoop. Okay, please stay right there. That works. Do another one of these. Let's wait for you to play it safe. Hit you with a few of these. That is not the real Hecate. This might be the real Hecate. It is the real Hecate. And there we go. No damage taken, courtesy of at least using a resistance, but that's alright.
As elusive as a shade. I don't believe I struck you even once.
Again, if you count the resistance.
I knew you would prevail.
But there we go. So that means we get 2 additional rooms at a minimum, giving us the extra 5 gold, so it all adds up a bit. So I mean, at this point, that's probably... How many rooms worth of gold has this been? Probably approaching 50 extra gold.
What a coincidence.
It's been a while since we've seen you around town.
I know not how you bested the father of all monsters, but all it did was make him angrier.
It's okay, I mean, theoretically speaking, we may not even need to fight him ever again. Not necessarily sure that's actually what we're gonna do, but... Okay, let's see. So, we don't have anything that is narcissisable at the moment. So... Might as well just take that now, not that we need it. And then...
Different one.
We're passing on you. It could still be in play on a future floor, it's just that we did not take this. So we may want this, or it could be that basically what this gilded dress has done for us is hasn't given us yet as much as we would have gotten from that keepsake, but it might mean that we can afford to pass on this keepsake, go Moonbeam here, and then on floor 3 we can still consider taking you. So, I think we will go Moonbeam. And we'll see just how long this dress lasts for. Don't really need that right now, don't really need that. Don't think we want this, because we don't have great option. The only thing that could be sacrificed would be our magic regeneration boon, which would be heroic rarity at that point, and already not really worried about magic restoration. So, let's see. By walking through here, we get 5 more gold, and walking into the next... This next room has no enemies in it, so we get 5 more gold walking into the next one, so... It's actually a pretty big deal defeating Hecate with the armor still intact, because it equated to an extra, what? Maybe 15 gold just from that alone? The free rooms? These guys are kind of annoying. So, everything from here on out, dress-wise, is a bonus, and... Of course, I do expect for us to lose it imminently. No, don't do that. You're down. And you are not done. These guys can block, and their projectiles bounce around, which makes it a little bit difficult at times to avoid them, as I really thought that I just dodged into that. Did the hammer upgrade reduce the range of our attack, or is it just that our special has such incredible range that it comparatively feels like nothing? No, did not reduce it. Okay, well here is Selene, and we can immediately cash in the Moonbeam in that case, which is really nice.
The path of stars.
Alright, so we did deliberately forego the duo boon in order to get this guy. Let's see, so with 10 points, wow, that is a crazy amount. How much does it take to get to the end? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can't quite get to the end on both sides, but we could certainly get to one of them. And I think we could also get the other blue one. Might be able to get double blue plus a purple. I think that's right around the number we're looking at here. Ever use Hex, get armor temporarily. I mean, technically speaking, that does help us sustain our current silk, but I'm not really sure that's going to be a difference maker for long. Hex also fires your charge cast in the area immediately after the blast. If we could get a Demeter cast to freeze enemies so that they will stay in that circle. Wait, oh, it's immediately after the blast? Oh, I thought it was going to be as soon as you press the button, the cast activates, and then you still have that 4-second delay before the meteor strikes, because if you were to freeze with a Demeter cast, then you can much more consistently get that meteor to land. That would have been incredible. But I don't know that Demeter is going to be any better than other casts in this case. It's probably still the direction I'd prefer to go in. Let's see what these ones are. Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Power. Starts up charged. I mean, technically, starting up charged and then using this means we could clear out a room almost immediately, or at least the first wave of enemies almost immediately, and potentially sustain the silk a little bit longer, but I think that's, again, largely just sort of a short-term thing. We shouldn't really be planning around it. Okay, so that's 4. Yeah, so we could get this. Oh, I didn't even remember this one. 3 smaller blasts. Oh, right. I don't remember if those smaller blasts also benefit from the plus 100 power, because plus 100 power on something that deals 1,000 base damage is a 10% boost, which is nice, but it's not dramatic, at least not a single one. Whereas plus 100 damage on something that deals 100 damage means you're doubling the damage. So that becomes a much bigger deal with these guys. I think I am going to go with this, actually. And then we could choose between these. Okay, I'm going to go there. I guess we might as well go here. Okay.
The limits of my light.
Oh! Well, there's Poseidon activating for us. So maybe we don't have to choose after all. Alright. Do we beeline it for this one? I just don't know that that's going to make that big of a difference. Let's go here. Even if that's mostly just a long-term thing. We are going to have to go to either one of these sides. I guess we'll do that. Larger area. The area, I think we got several of the area boosters, so it should be quite a bit larger. Yeah, it has a humongous area of effect. I think we do want this for what it's worth. He does have some armor boosting boons, but don't want to get too carried away on the armor stuff. That stuff could go away immediately. Also want to be mindful of that, because something is going to hit me here. Yep. Didn't really have a choice. Once I got pinned in that corner, it was just a matter of which thing was going to land. So there goes the armor, as I said. All the more reason why not to focus too much. Definitely could have been doable, but all the more reason not to focus too much on optimizing around a temporary bonus. It already lasted longer than I expected it to. Quite a bit longer.
Next, make a hand over a rail of adamant, would you? Shoots faster than any bow I've seen. Demands a closer look.
Please don't help Eris. Okay. Big boosts. Oh, remember, we have the Chaos Boon giving us a higher chance of good rarity stuff, so this is not a coincidence in all likelihood. Oh, that also means, yeah, Narcissus is unlikely to be all that helpful going forward, since it is still possible we'll get some common rarity boons, but should be quite unlikely. What do we prefer, attack or special? We do have a double attack, which I think does not work particularly well with Hephaestus. We only have a single special. So I think we go with that, even if our attack, courtesy of the hammer upgrade, is a bit better. Okay, I feel like I do like the bones. This is probably, at best, going to be a nectar. More likely, it's just going to be a bit of ashes, but we'll try. That was close. Yeah, it's ashes. Okay, which I probably am not going to choose anyway. I mean, yeah, it's more life. We actually... Oh, right, we got the extra starting life from Chronos. I was going to say, I don't really remember getting much of that. We took the life room instead of the shop a little while back. Ooh, more chaos. The timing is a little bit awkward here, because I do think that would still be active by the time we're in the Skilla fight, but maybe we can still make it work. The long-term potential could be incredible. Speaking of long-term potential, it does help having the assistance of Artemis. And we don't have any Furon for this run, so I would certainly like to believe that we'll be okay. Almost regardless of what happens here, unless I, stun lock myself into repeated enemy attacks. But, we could still try to optimize to the extent possible.
Hail, sister. Good work.
Okay. Almost forgot about that. Hello.
One disadvantage to my being all the way out here is I'm unable to put arrows through Prometheus from such a range. Apollo says he's been a real bother.
Apollo, it's been nice running into him in the palace. However, one would think that would mean he's a little bit closer to Prometheus and might be more capable of providing a helping hand, and yet we haven't really seen him do that, at least not directly do that. Obviously, he's been giving us boons, but it's not like he pulls a Zeus versus Typhon type of thing where he's directly intervening in the fight.
He's a problem and a threat. Even unarmed, and seemingly not even at full strength, for he still bears old wounds. He has more than enough fury to make up.
Ooh.
Great, another angry titan. Well, if he's seething all the time, he's liable to make mistakes. It wouldn't be the first time.
Okay. Now let's see. Again, just good rarity stuff here. After dashing, our charge moves may deal crit. We were originally planning to go charge stuff of some variety, but then we got the hammer upgrade that gives us magic spending from just our basic attack, and then we were saying, oh, maybe that's enough to power up our hex. To use attacker's special, fire a seeking arrow. Foes in our cast may take critical damage from our attacks. We don't have anything on the cast yet, so that is a little bit awkward at the moment. All this stuff is maybe not quite what we would have liked to have seen. This is great if you have fast attacks, but we're a little bit more on the slow, hard-hitting side. I'm thinking we might use a reroll here, since we did not use any in the first floor.
Let's Let's see how this goes.
More to your fancy?
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. It does prime a lot of magic, but I think we have enough magic that we can afford that.
Go unseen.
Even better still
Let's do this
probably
again
would have been
sometime.
for that to be the higher rarity option, rather than just rare. But let's see, mini shop. Oh. Oh. I am not entirely sure how this works when there is already a chaos entrance in this room. I'm kind of curious to test it. There's a chance that it just completely bricks, or it might guarantee... I don't know if you can have 2 downsides to a chaos boon at the same time, or if it always waits for the boon to evolve before chaos can reappear. I feel like I, at least in Hades 1, had seen that happen before. The timing would be kind of unfortunate, because we are getting somewhat close to the boss of this floor. I don't think this is the penultimate room, just based on the location number here. But we might not be opposed to skipping this shop anyway. I mean, otherwise we'd probably end up going into one of these rooms to see if we could get a free boon of some variety. Let's test our luck a bit here. That obviously does cost a bit, though. Probably a lot less than what we would buy at the shop. So we've no fear on this run, and so we will treat this with no fear. Okay, we still take the damage, which makes me think that we will still be able to benefit from... Yeah, this has not seemingly procced yet. So I think that means we either are about to get 2 Chaos Rooms in a row, or it's not like you can get a Chaos Portal within the Chaos Room. That'd be insane. But we might see a Chaos Portal at the end of our next room, or it might wait until this Chaos Boon is evolved.
By the will of
Let's see what we get. So we probably need to be mindful of the downsides here, as we see 2 Chaos Boons with horrible downsides. Because this one could be in effect for the skill of fight, especially if it has a longer duration. But certainly the next one, you'd have to think would be if it is immediate. So it's delayed by 1 more room. Afterward, we have a 78% chance to find more gathering resources. Don't love the upside of that one, and obviously taking damage on the special. We could potentially just spam attack. So we have done some things with the attack, mostly from the hammer upgrade. I don't think we need the upside on this. I think this is the most useful option. If we hadn't just used a reroll, I would consider using one here. This is potentially atrocious, but I'm going to rely on the special to carry us. And then we're going to go here, which doesn't count as an encounter, which is actually potentially quite bad.
Yeah, I guess. Like, anyway, what do we see here?
I'm curious if Narcissus is talking with Echo this time. You have hearts above. You also have hearts above you. Okay, there is another Chaos Room. Okay, we can also compel you.
Hypnotize.
So yeah, this is not going to count as progressing our first Chaos Boon. Ooh, would have been very easy to have missed this.
I talked to Echo like you said I should. What gives? This place is still the same. I thought you were gonna fix everything.
We're working on it?
I didn't make myself clear. You have to fix everything, not me. You and Echo each are cursed, and your curses now are tangled up. You have more to discuss and sort out.
What do you mean I'm cursed? You're cursed. I mean, I've got it all. You don't know what you're talking about. Unless you do.
Oh, wait, I think when we first encountered Narcissus, I was saying how, my goodness, I swear, I recognize, I've heard this voice before, but I couldn't tell you where it comes from. And it was really bothering me, because I knew I had heard it. And I think I saw on one of the Supergiant Games development videos they had for while the game was in early access, someone might have mentioned that this is actually Darren Korb speaking here, who is the, what is his technical title? He's in charge of everything audio, including music and I think, directing the voice acting. He did the voice for Zagreus in Hades 1, and obviously now Hades 2 as well. May have voiced other characters, including potentially Narcissus. Don't quote me on that, but there is a chance that that is a thing. Okay, so let's see. We did take a little bit of damage. Oh, from the Chaos Room, right. And we're about to go into a Chaos Room, but that one is not going to cause us to take damage because of the item that we got from the mini shop. We could get a random boon plus a seed, or we could get silver, which there's a chance there's still one weapon aspect that needs this, but if so, we might already have enough. I think it was kind of borderline before, but we have been going down a fair bit as of late, so we might be fine on that front. So 100 gold mostly versus random boon. Random boon usually worth 125. This is usually worth, well, obviously 100. It is worth 100. So I guess we still go for this. Okay, so we do that. Then we see what we get here. It's Aphrodite.
Ugly Typhon. Not only is he getting all the attention lately, he's resisted all my charms. That never happens. But all he wants is this mountain, and not in a loving way.
Okay, so usually I'm a huge fan of Aphrodite because of the ginormous damage that she provides. However, it is specifically for nearby foes. Our special certainly will not be hitting, well, our special has a ton of range, so it's unlikely that our special will qualify as being against nearby foes. Our attack might still count for that. Otherwise, this could be useful. Give us a crazy amount of magic. Even life is not bad. Guess we'll go for this. We also, this will be our third air boon. She does have an air infusion that is potentially quite good. Guess we'll take this. Okay, now I need to remember, because we've gone several rooms now without attacking anything, that we still cannot use our attack. It is our special that we are relying on, and that will very likely be the case for the upcoming boss fight. And things may be about to get more complicated still.
Prepare, fishy.
Prepare. Ooh, quick one. There we go.
Hey, a pro jelly.
Pro jelly, and that counted as a water boon as well.
Caught with grace.
Okay.
Chaos, I heard your call.
Lots of chaos. Cannot earn gold for 4 encounters. Afterward, we gain a bunch of max life. Heroic rarity. Our Arcana cards have no effect for 5 encounters. Afterward, our cast deals a bunch of damage. What was the upside of this one? It's the one that gives us a bazillion extra boons. We could do, or it counts for the elemental purposes for future infusions. So if we do this as well, we have 5 guaranteed minimum across the board, which probably makes us immediately eligible for almost every single infusion. So that is very interesting, and I think we're gonna go for it. It also is a little more manageable with the downside, at least in the short term, since can't really afford to do anything too crazy right now. Okay, so this is our first room with enemies in it for a long time. This is actually a very small room. Oh, does this still count? Even if we fight 0 enemies in this room, does this still count as an encounter? Because if so, that's extremely useful. Okay, this is... this is now the penultimate room. That shop there. We also probably did not get quite as much gold as we would have otherwise gotten because we avoided encounters in several cases. Can Chronos break these just by hopping around? Because he does deal damage with his hops now. He might. I think we're just going in here. I think so. Otherwise, yeah, we get potentially a free boon of some variety. I actually don't know how the unsealing works in a room like this, because let's try it. Again, we're experimenting here. Okay, yes, we do get basic enemies. Does not, like, unseal some of these, whatever you want to call them. These pods. And that does do damage, so I'm deliberately avoiding it. And we can crit with our special now, which is huge. Thank you, Artemis because it makes it much more viable for us to have chosen this. Okay, so now shop versus free hearts. Probably would have preferred free boon, especially since we're getting extra rarity on that boon. So you know what? I'm gonna try this too. And we do have the Hephaestus effect on our special as well, though it doesn't cooldown. There it is.
Make a run for it.
Oh, we can? You sure about that? Oh, please actually lock onto the enemy that I'm trying to lock onto. Yeah, we have, as I kind of expected, we have, that's silly. We've accidentally made more enemies spawn in. Because we hit some of these guys along the way. Chronos did just destroy that one. Okay, you know what? While we're at it, sure. Maybe we should have just initiated with destroying all this stuff. What are you doing over there? There we go. Okay. So that might have actually given us a little bit more gold in the process, which means this might be a little more palatable. But if we do go Palm, we can might be able to guarantee that it lands on this, which would be very helpful. Improve the cooldown. Yes, this might still have better long-term potential, but we're wondering... I mean, it all kind of goes back to what keepsake are we taking on the next floor. It's not Narcissus, because we don't have any common rarity boons. So I think we can spend aggressively here at the shop. This probably still makes sense, and then we take the coin purse to help make up for the amount that we spend here. Even if these are not that Hermes is great. This stuff, less so. Might just be Hermes. Let's see. So this is block. That probably would have been my choice. Although this is also really good. It's okay. We'll take that. And then... thinking we're just gonna save here. We already have so much magic. We don't really need that. Okay. So this has to be base Skilla. At least it's only base Skilla. With pretty... we can use the cast. Doesn't really do much in the way of direct damage, but the special is going to be the damage dealer, and pretty much exclusively the special. So hopefully that's enough. We'll see.
Check it out, gals.
Oh?
Oh, it's only you. Not just another one of those sailors we've been seeing more and more of lately here. Look at this crowd. We've been causing a real stir.
Is there more of a crowd this time?
Perhaps those sailors are just remnants of the sunken fleet that Chronos sends against the gods. I've had my scuffles with them recently.
Oh, true.
Oh, no, I don't think so, lady. Our fame is due to good old-fashioned word of mouth. And there is nothing you can do to stop it now.
We'll see about that.
This song's called Eyes with a Claw. After eyes that turn you to death.
This one I think is actually I think I sometimes mistake this for another one of their songs, but this one I think is my favorite of theirs. Did I hit Skilla with the Hex without even realizing it? Because I was focusing on the drummer. Whoa, that was bad timing. That was also lucky that I happened to dodge those. Okay, there's... woo, bad timing again. There's a resistance. Kind of hard to break those when we can't use our attack. I don't actually remember if the cast breaks those or not. Sweet. Does this work? No, that does not work. So this is the one that I was mentioning, I think, last time we were fighting Skill and the Sirens out. Extremely catchy. I do like it. On the other hand, not something that you want to get caught in your head and start humming or saying out loud. Okay, this just will not get destroyed. There we go. Okay, that was mean. Fortunately, we did not get hit by it, but okay, I am going to wait, I think, to use this until we get to this phase. Who's the featured artist? You are the featured artist. I'm probably still going to go after you, to be honest. Or if we get 2 for 1, that is pretty nice value. Okay, first you do that, then you usually follow up with one of these, which is really nasty when Skilla is hanging out there. all the more reason to try to get rid of this drummer as quickly as possible. Come on, Hephaestus. Still wasn't enough. Well, the hex soon. Here it is. Because everyone's hanging out over here. There we go. Boom. This part of the song as well is just so hilarious. Just finds various ways to describe getting injured and attacked by by various sea creatures. Oh, I got stuck. Okay, see, it's a little hard to defend ourselves against those guys when we do not have an attack that we can use. I would love to sneak in to use the Hex, but these guys are chasing me. Thank you. Okay, now we just run around for a little bit. Presumably the Hex will finish the job, and there it is. Not too bad, despite the restrictions. All right, we still get this.
We'll have another show tomorrow night.
Will we now? Oh? What was that? You have some sort of reaction to us defeating Skill and the Sirens? Were you displeased? Not a fan of us ending the performance early? Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid this is the way it has to be. Okay, so...
The very bottom of the sea.
I do think we're probably going back to the gold purse. It's just in a slightly different order than we would usually use it. We haven't really been held back by a lack of money thus far. I mean, it's 150 gold, so it's basically purchasing one boon from a shop, and we skipped the shop at the end of the first floor, so that alone basically paid for us skipping the gold purse on that floor, but now we can still be aggressive on this floor and potentially the final floor. So it could be this, or, I mean, we could go concave stone if we really wanted to. That's actually, you know, we'd fully upgrade it by taking it here. Let's do it. So we have the higher rarity stuff from the Chaos Boon support, so just loading up on a bunch of high rarity boons could be useful. And here, that's immediately making me question whether I made the right decision. Because that is nice, but it is pretty expensive. I am going to take it, though. Alright, I was so ready for that to have a delayed delivery, because we've been doing a lot of surface runs as of late, so I was like, what? Why did we immediately get that? Okay. That's alright. We can... So that's the not full-blown heart. It's the one that increases your max life without a corresponding current life increase, but we can heal off a little bit of that by just walking into some of these empty rooms. We still cannot use our attack for 3 more encounters. Now, on this floor, that does start to get a little scary at times. There are 2 encounters here. Neither of which are great. I mean, the palm can be decent. The magic, as we've said several times before, is not critically important at this point for us. Ideally, we would see something else there. Also, where is the tree? Oh.
Good find.
And we get an extra one for free. And I think we got the same thing upgraded both times, and it's the one that matters the least. No, it's even more magic restoration. Why? I deliberately took it immediately. Oh, I guess we weren't going to pick up any more boons in this room anyway, but... Well, that's free healing. Wait, where does that come from? Is that Chronos? Or is that... Oh, that's the exit. Where's the bow? The tree. Usually it goes with this golden path. That just takes us straight to one of the rewards. There must be a tree. Is there not? Here you are.
Flourish.
Okay.
Reveal my path.
So we have more healing, which we'd probably like to save. Except that technically that would become the Echo reward. if that is the last thing we pick up. I still don't think we're going to see Echo in the second room. I think usually it's the third room where she appears. But if you guys damage me, then that gives me reason to pick up this health right now. So I guess there's that. Nope, don't do that. Okay. Technically we did still take a little bit of damage from the Chaos Room, so I guess it would benefit us ever so slightly to take it there, but we'll start with this. Okay, not a fan of you. Fortunately, we can get rid of you quickly. You guys are also a big pain, but maybe this can help us out. Yes. But I did still get walloped a bit by the 1,000 punch dude.
All is possible.
Okay. I mean, yeah. It's nice. In theory, that we got an extra copy of that reward. We don't really need it, as we already have a crazy amount of magic at this stage. And there's some other boon that gives us bonus value based on... Oh, I guess we can use the healing now. Okay, well, actually, it was all according to plan. In that case... Huzzah. Now we don't have to worry about... Oh. Really? I mean, if I could reallocate the bonus rewards from this to the stuff that actually is meaningful, that would be great. I can't remember if it can give bonus palms, but if it can, then that would be much better. Wasn't quite enough to take out the Wolfman, unfortunately. First Wolfman. Second Wolfman. Now they're all down. Big guys, at least. Okay, so now that means one more encounter for the first of the Chaos Boons to evolve. Okay, so I do like this a lot, because that does mean the cooldown is much quicker. I've already gotten this to proc a fair bit. The earlier you get it upgraded, the better, but I think we're still sticking with the fundamentals. Now, this is impactful, though. I think we have found, based on another run in which we got this upgraded a ton, that it cannot proc multiple times on the same reward. So we're not about to upgrade C-Star and then get another one and then turn it into an infinite loop. This is actually a rare case where subsequent levels can be better. Well, we took 2 seconds off the first level, but I think each one going forward, is it always going to be a flat second, or is it going to start going down to fractions of seconds? It might start doing that. But otherwise, percentage-wise, the amount of the cooldown you're improving is getting better with each. If it remains at, 7 seconds down to 6 seconds, 6 seconds down to 5, not long before we've cut the recharge time in half. But it might still drop down to half a second cooldown improvement later on. I think I am still taking this. Okay. So I'm wary of a mini-boss when we are still struggling a bit with this. So I think we go here. We go probably Selene first. That evolves you. Then we take Hermes, which will evolve you, at which point we'll have a bazillion elements. And if we do find Echo in the next room, then Echo would duplicate Hermes, potentially. Okay. But it does mean any mini rewards here we want to pick up early. Let's find the tree. Here you are. Nope, that. Okay, so that means we definitely want to pick you up early on. We also want to pick up the magic... Oh, 2 little magic upgrades. There is... I noticed this a little earlier on this run. There is actually a sound effect that comes from the Hephaestus boon coming off cooldown, which I never realized before. There's a chance that's new as of the full release. I'm not sure. Or it may just be that oftentimes there's enough stuff going on that you're not really paying very close attention to that, and if you don't know that that exists, then you don't realize that you actually should potentially try to listen out for that. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so especially right now when we are relying just about exclusively on the special, having it cool down more quickly
Nice seeing you again.
is quite useful. Who are we seeing again?
This feeling.
Yeah, there is... It might be a Hephaestus boon that gives us... Is it life based on our magic? Or is it someone else? I don't remember who it is. We do already have Hephaestus precedent. Because with basically 400 magic, if we can transform... If we can get bonuses based on how much magic we have, that would... One would think be quite useful. There we go.
Corruption cleared.
Okay, now we can attack, right? This is the one that gives us fewer options with our boons, which actually has been kind of nice, that we've gotten a bunch of rewards that are not boon related, because we've not had to suffer the... Oh, wait. We've not had to suffer the consequences of that one, but that's not based on encounters, that is based on boons, isn't it? Okay, so we'll go here, take you. I don't know that that's really a big difference maker, and it adds a huge chunk of magic cost, so you could make a very strong case that that is actually not worth taking. But I think we will take it nonetheless, and then power, damage after the hex is done. I don't know, I guess power? And then I was going to say, there's a decent chance we were going to get another one of these showing up, which is in part why I was saying, might as well just take this, because I actually don't know if you have the option to opt out of these upgrades. Like, so we fully upgraded Selene now. But if we had decided, oh, we'd just rather not take that, could we have pressed the back button and had the option to just skip it altogether? So I don't know if that's a thing. In most cases, of course, it's just objectively an upgrade, and there's no reason why you would want to turn it down, but every once in a while, you look at one of those ones that is increasing the magic cost, and you say, to charge up the hex, and you say, well, is it really worth it taking longer to use the hex to get whatever that benefit might be? Sometimes, absolutely. Other times, it might be a little more questionable. Okay, so that one's blocked, and that is once again the one that I would have liked to have gotten. It is the one that got blocked last time as well. This, earlier you get it, the better. It might still be meaningful here. It does require that we have a lot of gold to use, because the first one does get discounted, but then the second one, the copy that it creates, you then do need to purchase, so in total, you are definitely still spending more gold. If we had used the Charon keepsake on this floor, then that could have been meaningful, although actually, the keepsake we did take in fact, is very likely to proc here. So we'll go with this. It actually did not proc. Okay.
I think I'm finished here.
So that was I went for the slower projectiles because we just don't really have a lot of gold to work with. Okay, and we are getting a mini-boss here, whether we like it or not. But at least this time, that means we can attack. We are almost certainly going to get the echo effect proccing here. Which one is it? It's you guys. I feel like it's decent for the special setup that we have, as long as I don't get stuck in a corner there. Because you can fairly easily just run around, and eventually the cooldown on the special means that we can get good burst damage against each of these guys. There we are. Oh, I thought that was going to be enough. There we go. Just you now, right? Yes. You actually do have a close range attack that I oftentimes forget about. Don't let this enemy fool you. It's also a little different. There is now armor gone, which means we can just do this little hokey pokey. Usually like snakes. Snakes are
I can
cool.
use this.
Okay, so this should be what we need to evolve this spoon. And then once it does, it means we're going to have just an absolutely insane number of boons to work with. So infusions become possibly the single most interesting thing for us. Ooh, that would have been good. I know we were saying before we were unsure about whether our attack was technically going to qualify as close range or not. We could reroll, but I'd rather reroll once we have evolved this Chaos Keepsake, or rather Chaos Boon. And then maybe we fish for infusions. Could certainly afford to prime magic. It does give us flat damage on the attack, which since we're doing a double attack is kind of meaningful. Otherwise the cast, which we've just kind of been avoiding or not focusing on. Okay, well, this is... Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. And that timing is very unfortunate now that we see it. At least with the specific boon that got blocked, it was unfortunate. But here you see, that's a lot of boons. 5, 9, 10, and 7. There's a chance there might be an Earth Infusion that we are not eligible for, but everything else we certainly should be. And in some cases, infusions benefit not just for... In some cases, it's just, have you reached the threshold? If so, it's active. If not, it's not. There are other ones that give you incremental benefits based on the number of infusions, or number of boons that you have. And so those ones should be very good for us at this stage. But you do need the precedent from a specific, or you need to get a boon in order to have the option of getting one of those infusions. They don't just magically appear. So that becomes the bigger factor here in all likelihood. Okay, also probably should track down you. Oh, I already did that. What am I saying? Okay, so do we have any other minor rewards? Doesn't look like it. Oh no, there is one hiding over here. Okay. Very well hidden. Yeah, I think the attack is close. Oh, we did get that. Oh, it let us take this. Okay. I'm glad. This was originally blocked. I was wondering, the timing of the Chaos Boon was very, with the Echo Keepsake, was very strange. Because the first boon that we picked was going to be still with the Chaos Boon limiting us, blocking one of the options. But then, after selecting the first boon, that would have evolved the Chaos Boon, which means that all the options should have been available to us. But then Echo procced right at that exact moment. But we still got this, which gives us huge damage on our attack. I think this is close enough range. Yes, surely. They definitely reduced the range of this. This used to be quite a bit further range. So that you legitimately could have said that the staff was sort of a mid-range weapon. But they reduced the range of the attack quite considerably. They extended the range of the special, or at least they made it feel quite a bit different. Forgetting what exactly it was like before. There is still a chance we might see Echo, in which case I don't think we want the extra magic. I can say that with confidence. I think we do start with you then.
This doesn't belong here.
No, no, no. None of that. None of that. Nice. Oh, I walked into that. There we go.
All quiet.
Okay, really would love to see something that gives us additional benefits from our amount of magic, because it's pretty ginormous. Okay, so then chance of duplicating Palm or chance of duplicating Cash? We did not end up taking that Hermes boon that gives us extra spending potential at the shops. I think we might still go for the extra cash, though. There's enough boons at this point that it's hard to control which ones are going to get the bonuses. Oh, you're still armored. Yeah. Probably should have known that wasn't going to do enough damage to break it. I think I saw the first hit. I knew you were still armored, so thought that the next one was going to be sufficient. Ooh, that's a bad place to get stuck. Stop right there. No. Bad. Bad. Stop that. Stop that. Okay. A little bit of a hit there. Oh, we traveled quite a distance. Okay, so it is still 1 second improvement, and at this point, that's pretty meaningful. Or we get another sea star. No, we're taking this, and we're getting one of these anyway. And as I was saying, this is now a very impactful upgrade. It's one of the rare times when continuously upgrading something actually makes the subsequent upgrades even better. Because now, what's the cooldown? It's 5 seconds, so if we upgrade this even more, that is just a dramatic... It's a 20% improvement. Because that's usually the thing that balances the Hephaestus boons, is they have a ton of damage. But the cooldown is so long that you have to deal with that. If the cooldown is not a big factor anymore, then suddenly... the world is your oyster. I did just barely walk into that, but can we potentially get some of this stuff to take you? You lived? Excuse me? Okay, so now we at least have decent gold. Just want to see if there happens to be a mini shop around here. And I'm surprised how many palms we've been able to get on this specific special boon. I mean, that has, by and large, I think been carried by the Poseidon boon, which has, despite it not being upgraded that much, has been proccing quite a bit for us. I think we will go for the shop here. This is the penultimate room at this point, isn't it? Actually, a little bit early. I think it still is, though, especially since there's only one option over here. So, free life versus shop with 400-ish gold. That is the penultimate room. Oh, the double jingle. Getting a lot of fish. It is not Chronos' bonus crafting resource, but you could be mistaken. You could be fooled. On this run, at least.
Caught out.
There you go.
It's a little sobby. Might protect you, my lord.
Ooh. Not often we see the hammer show up in the shops. That's, we can just barely afford everything. Wow. Okay, are there any golden urns in here by any chance? Just to give us a little more wiggle room? Well, here you go. If not for us getting the Arachne outfit active as long as we did, there's no way we would have been able to afford everything here. I think we do want to take this first. Flutter Strike, the attack. Okay. That's fine. That's quite good. And the order shouldn't matter here, I don't think. Special lore attack, what we're looking for. Specials are faster. Charge attack is faster. Or no, deals more damage, also strikes sideways. I'll admit, I just did not even read it. I just saw special attack, carried over the faster part from this. Yeah, so second half of that, big damage boost, also strikes sideways. That is big, but we just haven't really been doing any charge-up stuff. Channel plus 20 magic into charge special to deal ginormous damage in a big area. I think we take this, because our special is slow, so getting extra speed on it would be very nice, and we also haven't taken this yet.
Nice stuff.
And then here, there you see, we're gonna have 9 gold to spare, so yes, it was very important that we got the outfit to last as long as it did. Okay, so this is possibly the single least meaningful infusion we could have gotten. Because we already have extra rarity on our boons from this, making it very unlikely for us to see any common rarity boons. We could reroll, but I mean, this is Hera's infusion. We're not going to get a better one from her. So I think instead we're just opting for, ooh, this intrigues me. We do have several boons that are epic rarity, which means they're only gaining 1 tier of rarity, but it is a couple of levels in addition to that, and it depends what it lands on. Let's see. Volcanic Flourish. Oh, it is the special. It's a 2-second cooldown. That's insane. Okay, what happens if we upgrade this 2 more times? Does it become a 0-second cooldown? And bear in mind, we also just got a hammer upgrade that makes it faster. So, it's even easier to spam it? Okay, that's pretty cool. I want to see this in action. Okay, so this is just base Cerberus.
Sorry, but I have to get through.
Yeah, so like every 3 hits is going to be a hammer. Well, you do it for the first one. Second one isn't going to be a hammer. Third one is. So like it's every other hit, really. And that is assuming that you're spamming the special button. Please don't do that. I don't like it when you do that, Cerberus. Wow, you are really keen on doing that, though. Well, that did just barely hit me. But you are non-stop doing that. I do know that we have the Hex. I was kind of waiting for him to phase. I don't know if I'm avoiding this or not. I did not. Okay. Going here, I guess. This is so strange. He's doing almost nothing but that attack. I don't think I've ever seen him do that. I don't think he had that attack in the early access at all. I don't remember if we've seen him use it after the full release, or if this is truly the first time we've seen him use it, period. And for him to be... Oh, no! How dare you, Cerberus. For him to be basically just spamming that and nothing else is very strange. Doing that mostly for the sake of trying to charge up the Hex again, because I'm not thrilled by how he had the perfect timing to avoid our... Oh, this is a bad place to be standing for this, because that would have been a great time to hit you with a bunch of damage. Hey, don't forget the attack is no joke either right now. That was kind of silly to get hit by that, though. Hey, Cerberus. There we go. So yeah, the special is going to be pretty insane, especially if we can upgrade it even more.
Cerberus regains composure and again sets off, perhaps to notify his master that his daughter is nearby.
Because what happens? It is very high level at the moment.
You're safe now.
It's
right.
rank 7, our special, but we have seen boons get higher level than this before. And so if you level it up enough, then does it just... it can no longer improve its recharge time at a certain point. Does it then start to improve the damage? Does it just prevent you from leveling it up altogether at that stage? Also, I did not see if there's anything else in here. Feels like our movement speed is quite slow. That's because we don't have a dash boon. We did get hit by at least one of his attacks. We're on to the final floor, though. Okay, so we don't have a ton of money here. We definitely don't have anything for the Narcissus keepsake, so we're back to using one of these guys, I guess, in all likelihood. Probably end up going here.
Sure.
We'll do this. Is a little bit of healing for us, and then if we can afford to pass on this, we probably should. I mean, if we were to get a sacrifice boon for our... No, we actually can't get a sacrifice boon for our special because heroic rarity is the highest rarity, so it'd probably end up being our attack. I don't think that's worth it. Delayed healing, that's a lot of money, though. I think we're saving here, which would be ideal anyway, because we'd like to have some spending power in the super shop at the end. That's the domino effect of us skipping out on a few gold earning opportunities was always going to be that the super shop was likely the thing that was going to suffer, but we can potentially earn a fair bit of gold on this floor.
Realign.
Okay. Let's see.
We have not seen you in a little while, my friend.
We had 1 or 2 surface runs. That spawns rats when it... No, it does not spawn rats when it lands. Okay. These are the rat men, though. Make no mistake. Fortunately, though, Hephaestus can bully the rat men. No, don't do that. This is a long encounter. Wow. Usually encounters that long have some special reason why they're that long, like you're gonna get someone else stopping by to pay you a visit, but that was not the case here. It's just kind of strange. It was very slow-paced. It was just like 1 enemy at a time. So in terms of total enemies, I guess it wasn't really any more than usual, but it's a little bit strange. Okay, no choice but to take the straightforward approach here. Who is in here? No, you are and will always be the rat man to me. And this time you are definitely making the rats. And the rats have run away, which is annoying. Okay, rat man. Had enough of your nonsense. And I feel like the special would usually be slow enough to be a bit of a pain against those rats, because they can very quickly run up and surround you. But with the quick cooldown, that is much less of a factor. Okay, definitely going Hades here.
Father.
Will you finally let us pet Cerberus, perhaps?
He is no mere titan. He is time itself, and time cannot be stopped.
Yeah, that's probably, in the grand scheme of things, dare I say, slightly more important than being able to pet Cerberus. But we are potentially getting quite close to stopping time, or killing time. Let's see. In our confrontation with Chronos, he takes a burst of damage after the first 3 seconds, taking off 20% of his life. If we had combined that with the knuckle bones, then that could have been a big burst of damage at the beginning. Otherwise, we get this. I think we go with the soul urns, because we do have... Even if we aren't that aggressive when it comes to spending our magic, we do still spend some from this. In fact, is this going to spawn some soul urns right here? Eventually, yes. And that deals a lot of damage. Okay. And then if we use charge attacks, then obviously that'll happen more quickly.
Fierce hellhound Cerberus has many fangs, but little trust to spare.
But why?
Okay.
Have we... I forget. We've certainly had Hecuba down here at least once before with Cerberus, but not that many times. I do wonder if maybe that's what does it. The doggo helps us pet the doggo. Otherwise, just general progression. Obviously, we've not yet finished the entire campaign, and maybe that's what it takes. Or at least something along those lines. Okay, this room, I can already tell, is nasty. Not a fun time. Not a fun time. And these guys are mini-boss ones, which means they have armor, so a little harder to get rid of. Again, even if I'm just dashing around for a little bit, that's enough time for the Charon, or not Charon, the Hephaestus, excuse me, special to come off cooldown. Very useful. Oh, okay, this is automatic. From range. Phrenos from downtown. Maybe we'll get a Hypnos update here. In fact, there's a decent chance that could be the case. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything else of note here. Mini-boss for Poseidon versus just normal progression. I think we would like to go the Poseidon route here. We have 10 water boons. I do not remember what the Poseidon infusion is, but I have to imagine we're eligible for it. So we might fish for that via some rerolls here. As for what mini-boss this is, I think this guy's the worst. This guy's pretty nasty. does so much damage. It's really hard to avoid that too. That attack does crazy damage when you're standing near it, and this is not where you want to be stuck, though. That's the problem. No, don't run away now. Don't run away now! How dare you? That's illegal. So yeah, you don't want to be close for that attack, but then if you're far away... Oh, my goodness. For the beam attack, or whatever you want to call it, then it's easier for him to hit you with that. Also, there are these other environmental effects that have a very long range. Okay, but he gives you a ton of gold, if I remember correctly. So that does help. A little indirectly, but hopefully we can still heal off some of that damage that we took, and maybe this boon will be worth it. Maybe the gold will make it worth it.
Hear me on my authority.
What do we get here? Charge moves make me briefly restore magic, repeatable after 8 seconds. Yeah, no thanks. Early on, that could have been incredible, but at this stage, not so much. These are... Yes, this would be the dash boon that we've been waiting for, in a way, but... And we have seen it is actually possible for this to become very useful, especially if you upgrade it a lot, but it's a little late for that, and I would love to see if we can pick up the infusion. I don't know if there might be some other technicalities that make us ineligible for it for Poseidon. As I said, I don't remember what his is, but I'm going to try at least one reroll here. We don't get the infusion. I assume he has one. We don't have a cast boon. So that's another thing that might not be the worst thing to get. Prime magic, but... Oh. This is kind of interesting. Given how much damage we have on our special and how we can spam that more than you would usually be able to spam it. With Hephaestus, okay, we're definitely giving this a shot. And we are definitely picking Hera first, because I hate the effect Hera has when she gets mad. See the family dispute. I'm also eyeing this, and after having picked up a fair bit of gold in the previous room, maybe that helps us out to feel a little more comfortable spending from the mini shop, but starting here... This is the one infusion I don't want. I guess we'll take the dash. Yeah, if we're taking one of the basic boons from each of these people, we'd probably prefer dash from you and take the cast on Hephaestus. If not, I think Hephaestus might have some more synergy potential. So if we're getting greedy, I'd probably prefer to get greedy with Hephaestus. Though I'm not sure if we're going to use our last reroll on him. He does. Oh, this... Hate these guys. Hate it when there's a lot of these guys. It's one thing when there are just a few of them. They're much easier to dodge. When they are covering the entire arena, that's a different story. When I also have to dodge Hephaestus, that is not easy. There's another wave. Of course there is. We do have the Hex. I was not fast enough. Oh, it's a different type of enemy as well. Wow. Yeah, this is a nasty encounter. I mean, we kind of expected that, but even then, still didn't expect it to be that nasty. Okay. And given that, we did take some damage, but it definitely could have been worse.
That was not the most productive thing I did all day, but it's just to make up.
Okay, let's see. What do we get here? Gain life based on your magic. This is what I was referring to before. I thought it was from Hephaestus. It is. And with as much magic as we have, I can't remember. It says 444. Is that already subtracting 60 from the amount that we've primed? Do we actually have a little over 500 life? In which case, this is an insane amount. I mean, either way, I think we're taking this. Yes, this is the basic cast boon, which would be nice. And also, this would be nice to... Oof. This would actually be incredible synergy-wise. If we could get the echo effect, double dipping here would be great. I mean, we may very well just not need the life, but it's so much that we get from this that it's hard to say no.
The Smith God's power.
Okay, and then we have a ton of gold earning potential here, and this would be a fantastic time for you to trigger. I know we passed up on many opportunities to upgrade you, but just see that we are not eligible for. We passed on the on the fear this time. What about you? Especially if we know we're about to go into an encounter where we can get more gold. I mean, it costs 35. It's not a crazy amount, but special damage, I am certainly intrigued. It should, at this stage, last long enough to carry us into the Chronos fight. 5 rooms, and if we were to go straight to Chronos, we'd only have to go through 2. So this would be 3 total, and I think, if anything, this might be, if not the last bonus room, certainly the second to last. Usually at a certain point, the game just said, alright, enough is enough. I understand that you're willing to take on the extra risk of going through additional rooms on this floor, but at a certain point, the game does cut us off. Okay, so there we go. It's 300 gold. Can we get it multiple times? We can! Let's go. That's huge. Okay, so now no choice but to proceed as we expected. Very well might be the case. We could get even more gold here. I think we do it. I think we do it. I think I did get hit by that. Stop running. Stop running. Come on. Come on. See the money going down? That's okay. This pays off for the, it pays the mini shop item that we just picked up and then a little bit more on top of that. Oh, Nemesis.
I get your gold. Don't need assistance from you here, but how about we make things interesting?
Okay, well, we do have a lot of gold, and we have recently learned we actually lose gold if we lose to Nemesis. We can gain more by defeating her. I feel pretty decent about our setup, though. Standing on that is probably not a great way to get started, though. That's also not a great way to get started. Okay, I'm taking all of the damage, in case you were wondering. That was maybe not the best place to place that. Depending on if other enemies happen to conveniently walk into here. Fortunately, they did. Do you, though? The scoreboard says otherwise. Okay, this guy keeps locking me. I don't know if we technically got that one, but we definitely beat Nemesis.
Easy. Really not my night.
No, really not.
First wager in a while. Been busy up top, breathing surface air. Thought maybe you came to your senses and left things to me.
That's not the first person who said it's been a while since we went down below. What was it, 2 runs in a row? Going up maybe 2.
Oh, I'm not finished here by any means. And evidently neither are you. Still at it like before. Quite difficult, I know.
Oh, shut up.
Well.
Get this. This was going to be a rewardless room, but we got extra 100 gold out of it, and then I think there were some golden urns as well, so actually proved to be pretty fruitful. This is going to be a normal room, and then I assume we're going straight into the shop after this. I don't expect for us to have any optional rooms at this stage. That is a nasty center of the room there. No, I was too slow. Okay, I'm just gonna drop that, and then gonna let you guys hang out over there. I don't want to get frozen by that stuff or hit by all of your projectiles. Now, I think it might just be these guys, and I feel like there may not be any enemies respawning here, because there were a lot of enemies in the first wave. There we go. Okay. Anything else here? I don't think so.
Just ahead.
And so yes, no choice but to go to the super shop as we expected. Close to 1,500 gold, not quite there. Of course, we don't know. There's a chance that's going to be a critical threshold. Hopefully not, or if it is, then maybe there'll be a golden urn in here. Okay. Let's see. So with 1,500, the Charon card obviously is the most expensive thing here. But that's purely optional. doesn't affect us directly on this run. So this is what, 700, 825. Oh, it's extremely close, isn't it? It might come down to whether we're... I don't trust my mental math. It's very close. It might come down to whether we feel like we need this healing or not. Let's start with the most important stuff. This is not the god or goddess that I wanted to see here, because, again, it doesn't feel great when we had this many boons, or at least the equivalent of that many elements worth of boons, and to get 0 infusions. And if we still get the Hera infusion here, which the game really wants us to take, it doesn't do a single thing. We have no common rarity boons. So that will remain the case one way or another. This is also our last opportunity to reroll. Charge moves create a fissure, deals damage but uses more magic. Whenever hitch-afflicted foes are slain, damage all other hitch-afflicted foes by a little bit. That's less of a single target boss type thing, more of a large room of a bunch of enemies type of thing. I feel like we probably do take this. I know we haven't, or the cast, which obviously we have not done anything yet on, but haven't done much with the charge-up attacks either, despite our very large magic. But I feel like that could change in this fight, so I am going to go that route. Then here and here. And yeah, that's what I thought. It's coming up a little bit short. So, well, maybe if we had gotten the Arachne dress to last a little bit longer still, it would have been just enough for us, but not quite. So, I mean, we already have way more life than we would usually have going into this fight, despite us not technically being on full life. So I feel like we can probably pass on this and instead just farm up the Charon stuff a little bit more. And that, I assume, was a double dip? May or may not have been, because we purchased a Charon card directly and we also spent 600 gold in the process. So, okay. What do you say about that, Charon?
May moonlight guide us.
He has nothing to say. Alright, we'll heal a little bit more walking in here, I suppose. And for this one, I mean, you don't need me to tell you. It is all about the special, especially with this, which, as we expected, will last long enough for us to benefit from it. We have a decent attack, don't get me wrong. We completely passed on the cast, and now we at least have something going on the dash. But, and if we spend... Oh, that's another reason why going the, with the Hera boon that we just picked up is good, because we do benefit from spending magic quickly. And I don't think I've ever had to use this Born Again magic restoration boon. Maybe it's procced once or twice and I haven't noticed it, but it shouldn't really be a problem, even if it does force us to prime more magic, because we have a lot to work with. And this could be one of our last fights against Chronos.
You have been busy on the surface, have you not? Paid witness to indomitable fleets that sail toward inevitable victory and the destruction of the mountain of the gods.
Yeah, you're like the third person to say this, but I mean, I think going up, there is a chance that we actually do not need to go up at all for plot's completion purposes anymore. But depending on how exactly the incantations work, if we have to pay Typhon a visit in order to actually vanquish him altogether, then maybe one more.
The only fleet I saw up there was a ramshackle mess whose crew could barely stand, much less put up a fight. No wonder you have failed to take Olympus yet.
Yeah, so it's just a little weird that he's bringing this up now, and the reason for it is because apparently in the past he's always had more important things to mention to us, and that's why this has been dropped back in the queue. Because obviously we've gotten to the surface many times before, a long time ago, and reached the second floor there. So this doesn't really seem to be discussing anything that is particularly new or significant at this stage.
My fleets may not be to your standards, girl, but they have one important characteristic which the gods all sorely lack. They are loyal to me to the end, whichever end I deem.
Yeah, but they're not that useful. Okay, remember, we actually have bonus damage at the very beginning of the encounter, don't we? I think we do. From Poseidon. That might have been better served if we had saved it. Oh, he was still shielded, technically. Yeah, it's bad timing. Should have just saved it. That's one. Oh, he can still only do one. Okay. So I do think the cooldown improvement on Hephaestus will be a very big deal here, because usually you are spending a lot of time dodging against Chronos. Now he can double attack and triple attack. Usually you're spending a lot of time double and triple attacking against him. Or rather, just combine what he's doing with what I would like to do. No, spend a lot of time dodging his attacks, which means it's pretty easy to get the 2 seconds you need to get the cooldown. So it's almost as if there's no cooldown. Oh, that was bad to waste resistance on this guy. Okay, well, he's down now. You are back. I might save this Hex for the second phase. We could just drop it right when you're doing the clock phase. 1, 2, 3. I think that was 3. So yeah, the special is doing enough damage to... just 2. Special is doing enough damage that don't really need the burst right now. Get one more. There we go. So here we go. Drop that. And we go here. That's a good way to hit you while we would otherwise be struggling to block stuff. Okay, hold on. We now know where we're supposed to stand for that. And that took us a very long time to do. I also don't know what it is that technically procs that time slowy effect. That's a bad place for us to be stuck. I knew that was a place we didn't want to be, but wasn't much I could do about it. Oh, would like very much to get rid of you. And you. You guys are healing. Ooh, that was almost quite nasty. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there, the clock hands. Close. Stop healing him. Ooh, that was also very close to being a very nasty place. Okay, waiting to, yeah, for something like that. We both hit each other with our big attacks. Except mine worked, and yours didn't. Enough of that. Ooh, that was closer than I would have liked it to have been. I did not realize where it was at first. Excuse me. Oh, I thought he was starting to do the clock phase. Just waiting for a number to light up, and then it didn't happen. Now it does. Close to going down here.
Even now.
There he goes.
This victory of yours shall be short-lived.
Well, we'll see about that.
No god can vanquish me.
Because this is a critical threshold.
For Cerberus.
This one's for Cerberus. Well, maybe Cerberus will finally allow us to pet him in that case. I don't know what determines which of these things have the icons on them. Aspect of Malinoi, I get the special, because we were very much leaning on that. Lucky or Truth, I mean, it never procs, so I don't know why that would be lighting up. And then this one, is it the Chaos Boon that gives us the extra elements that were never relevant? Most damage inflicted from the blasts, the special blasts, Hephaestus itself, and wait, the special itself plus the Hephaestus blast, which I guess are technically 2 different categories. Not sure to what extent those are double dipping. Yeah, I feel like no, I don't know. Those might truly be. There might not be any overlap there, at least with the way the numbers are calculated. Then Total Eclipse, that's the Hex. Then the attack, and then the dash strike a tiny little bit. And then Gold Wrath, that was the mini-boss. The voluntary mini-boss? Okay. This is the key part.
Always use more.
Getting the Zodiac Sand. Now we have 5, and that is theoretically enough at least for the recipe to permanently defeat Chronos. We still have the mystery resource. We don't know what it is. Presumably, we do not yet have it, so we don't know how long that's going to take or how to acquire it.
He's gone for now.
So, as for whether that is something that happens quickly and easily, or something that turns out to be more meaningful of a grind than Zodiac Sand, that remains to be seen.
Hold on, brother.
But maybe we can get some answers.
To the abyss of the subconscious I descend.
From Zagreus. Anything else in here? No.
Night and darkness, guide me to my blood beyond the grasp of time.
Okay. Let's see what Zagreus has been up to.
Come on, where is she? Where is she? Don't leave me hanging like this, sister. Come on. I want to get some proper sleep eventually.
Brother.
I have to hear what your dialogue is before we go over there and interrupt it.
Hey. Gagaros, my father's spear. You said we would need a weapon that's available in both our times, is close to our family, and not been used to slay Chronos before. That one should do. It's big, and it hurts.
That's an interesting idea.
Huh. I see how that may work. The only problem is I've no idea where to find this guy Garos. Chronos likely got a hold of it. But that's in my time. While in yours...
Oh. Little... time... theft?
Father doesn't often let me use it anyway, and it's sealed off in his chambers. There must be something else. Though at least I found the place where Chronos probably is piecing himself back together little by little.
That sounds big.
You did? Where? What happened? How do you know it's the correct location?
Well, for one thing, it appears to be directly underneath this house.
Oh.
Odd place to bury one's predecessor, but Father can be quite particular with punishments. Anyway, when I descended deeper into Tartarus, I found a satyr infestation that led me to some sort of cave. I went no farther for now.
Okay.
Good. And do not enter until everything's prepared. But let's go back a moment to our father's spear. Is there some way you could procure it?
Sure. Father's chambers may be strictly off limits, though no security specialist of any worth would be so easily deterred. I'll likely suffer an eternity of torment, but sounds like Chronos has that in store for me regardless. So, what shall I do with Gygaros, assuming I can get my hands on it?
Yeah, you know, just send it in the mail.
Keep it someplace secure. Could you persuade our father to give it to you, without letting him know exactly why? If we tamper too much with time, Chronos shall find out. I suppose there's also the problem of how to transfer Gygaros across an astral psychic pathway.
Yeah, no, that seems like perhaps the biggest issue.
Details, sister. I like this plan, and Father owes me anyway. So are you some sort of oracle gathering up ancient artifacts, speaking to me in dreams and such? Perhaps these count as nightmares, what with a terrible future to look forward to.
Yeah, it's still... I mean, this one didn't feel as out there in terms of Malinois just coming up with amazing, you know, prophetic solutions out of nowhere. But still maybe a little bit along the... Nah, not nearly as much so as was the case for the previous 1 or 2 times we were over here.
We'll change that future. And I'm no oracle, I'm what you call a witch. We're getting closer to our goal, brother. Claim Father's spear, and I have more to do myself. I'll see you again soon.
Yeah, this was more of a, oh, Zagreus happens to have conveniently found this item. I mean, we told him to go search for something, some sort of weapon that would help us, so it's not that crazy for him to then have such a weapon, or potentially have such a weapon. It would have been one thing, it would have been worse if, for example, we had said, oh, I just think because I have this incredible light bulb idea out of nowhere after talking to no one about this, that we need a weapon to defeat Chronos. A weapon that, for some reason, I believe it is critical, can exist in both your time and my time and has not previously been used to fight Chronos. I have no reason, no evidence for why that is the case. It's just a hunch. That did happen, but if Zagreus had then just said, oh, this is it, right here. I already have it. Then that would have been like, okay, that's just lazy at that point. It already was arguably a bit of that with the Millennium side of things, but at least in this case it was, hey, can you find it? Next time, hey, I found it, but I can't get it yet. It's going to be difficult to do so, and then hopefully next time he'll say, hey, I found a way to actually get it. And then time after that, maybe it's, okay, this is how we're going to manage to get it to transcend time and space, so I can actually give it to you.
From mists of memory, return to Shadow now.
So at least from the standpoint of what we've been talking with, what we've been planning with Zagreus.
Zagreus, be careful.
It seems like we're certainly at least one, if not two, maybe even three, successful downward runs away from reaching that critical milestone. But we'll see.
Can you believe it, little one? I did it. I got him. What now?
It could be that that's basically designed to align with having 6 Zodiac Sands, because that would be enough to get the crafting recipe for both Chronos and Typhon all at once. And obviously the developers know it's going to take you, mathematically speaking, it's always going to take you 6 downward runs to have enough to do that. So maybe they deliberately scripted the plot line with Zagreus so that it would take 6 total successful runs to reach the conclusion there. Unless that takes longer than the incantation does, in which case that may be a thing. We don't have as much transparency on that side relative to the incantations, which we, outside of the mystery resource, we do know how much stuff we need.
Vengeance for my family.
Okay, we are done brooding. There is no Dora. Oh, that's because she's over here. Oh, we're listening in on this conversation. Didn't we chat recently with Moros? It was something about how he had seen Dora was seemingly kind of down because we had reactivated her memory, and it was a pretty traumatic experience that we reminded her of. And we were like, hey, just listen to what she has to say. If she tries to haunt you, act all scared, and so maybe that's what we're about to be listening in on.
Now kneel before me, O horned king, and know your place, lest I reduce you and that flowing mane of yours to dust and scatter it to the 4 winds.
Yes, that was truly excellent, Dora. Although, horned king? That made it sound as though I was important in some way, when I think you were going for sheer dominance.
What?
Yeah, that's a good note. Just kind of popped into my head, you know? The antlers. They are striking. They real?
Don't you touch them. I said don't.
I'm gonna.
Please?
No, they're sensitive, okay?
The fates would have me do their bidding.
Okay, no updates there, and then that was a pretty funny conversation. And if this is any indication, we are likely... Oh! We are not about to run into Eris. Where'd she go? We still see the shells of her gun.
Death to Chronos.
Most of us wouldn't even be here if not for the Olympians, Cause of death, arrow. Oh, okay. It seems like that person is not particularly friendly toward us or the other gods and goddesses.
I salute you, Shades.
Anything else here? Doesn't look like it. And unfortunately, we cannot gift to Dora right now. We're getting very close to getting our relationship maxed out with Dora, but we're not quite there yet. Oh, and speaking of not quite there, we need a little bit longer before this is good to go. How many Charon cards do we have? Probably enough to immediately get another one of the big shipments, because we did get a bunch of them. A bunch of stuffs of the Charon card variety on our previous run. A couple of Pro Jellies. Some other fishies as well. As I was saying, you could have been excused for thinking we were taking the familiar that gives you bonus chance of encountering fish. We were not. We did, however, get enough to pick up some Nightmare, which I do very much like to do when possible. Okay, and we already have some Ambrosia. Don't need to cash that in. This is ready to... Oh, that's where Eris is. Alright, hold on. Let's collect this.
Transmutation complete.
More of those morsels, and we just upgraded Chronos a bunch. I think we're getting pretty close to having all the morsels we need. We might already be there.
Hail the princess of the underworld.
Okay, we cannot gift to you at the moment. I'm wondering, we saw this last time. This description saying that Odysseus is not yet ready to receive another gift. I'm wondering if that is some kind of side quest for him. Kind of akin to what we had with Dora and her memory. We've heard a little bit about, what, him wanting to hear the siren song again? I don't know if that's going to be it, but it feels like we have not really figured out what problems Odysseus wants us to help him sort out. And I assume that's what this is referring to. Otherwise, we just hope that eventually we talk to some people around town and that will get us to the point where he is willing to become our friend.
Wanted to say, I appreciate your counsel, Odysseus. You've been like a brother to me. Or an uncle? One of those. You'd know better than I.
Look, you don't have to tell me what it's like not having family about. I spent a good-sized portion of my mortal days away from home. Had a war to fight. Got a little sidetracked after.
Understatement of the millennia.
Sidetracked? Headmistress says that you spent many years at sea. Some of them in the company of goddesses at that.
Yeah, but not necessarily in a good way.
Aye, well, by the time I finally returned, I scarce recognized my son and my wife. We lived out our mortal days together, and that was enough. I reckon they're comfortable somewhere below.
You haven't seen them? What happened?
Yeah.
Penelope and I drifted apart. Happens with mortals sometimes. And it happens with shades, too. As for my son Telemachus, he's his own man. Such is life, or death, as it turns out.
I forgot about Telemachus. He was, if I remember correctly, he was actually a pretty big deal in the Odyssey. Because Odysseus was... He was king, was he not? Of his... Yeah. Don't ask me where specifically, because I don't remember. And I should remember, but I don't. He was king, so he was gone. Of his area, at least. Because it was not like king of the entirety of Greece at that point. It's more city-state type of situation, I think. Don't quote me on that either. But, so while he was gone at the war, which he was there for a while, it might have been 13 years in the war, and then it was, I think, 13 years coming back as well, or something along those lines. So he was gone for 20-ish years total. That's a long time to be away as the leader of your kingdom. So in the meantime, there are a bunch of people who were trying to court his wife while he was away, and basically, I think, functionally become the king. And during that time, that also meant that Telemachus was in sort of this strange limbo-like state where he wasn't the leader, but in some ways he was kind of, sort of, like the acting leader in his father's absence. And so that put him in some very tricky situations, especially when there were all these other people who were trying to basically replace him in that role. So, but it's been a long time since I've thought about Telemachus, because he does not come up in conversation or in pop culture anywhere near as often as Odysseus does. So I had completely forgotten about him until Odysseus name dropped him there.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, cannot gift to you. Let's see what's going on here. It's another conversation that we're just eavesdropping on.
Thanks for the suggestion, ma'am, but I'll be sticking around as long as I want. Last I checked, you can't do anything about that, right?
You are correct, Eris. I cannot stop you from going where you please. But I can make your life profoundly difficult in ways you cannot possibly begin to imagine. I refrain only for the vow I made to your mother.
Nyx? Okay. I love the tone of that delivery. It was just incredible.
You can't intimidate me. Nyx tried before, and look where that got her.
It was a valiant effort. Oh, okay, we can't talk to them after the fact. We did also hear that apparently Nyx got her wings clipped, so presumably that means that she can't really fly as much, although we have obviously seen her fly in our fights against her. Also seeing, when we walk past these people, I saw it with Dora and Moros a few minutes ago, where we have that sort of grayed out, see-through talk bubble next to both of them. I don't remember ever having seen that before. I don't know what the deal is with that. Okay, so here, this is what I kept on referring to, is we now have enough Zodiac Sand to complete the Dissolution of Time. We would need one more to be able to do this, plus this. But we still don't know what the unknown resource is, so maybe that is going to be the bottleneck rather than the Zodiac Sand. So I don't know how that's going to play out. If we just need to finish more runs and eventually we'll have a conversation with someone who gives us the solution. I would have thought that person would be Hecate, so I'm honestly a little surprised to see that instead we're having this conversation here. I would think that instead the conversation with Hecate that gives us the secret sauce would take priority, but maybe not. Maybe we need to still do a little bit more before that's even an option. Okay, so we have enough beast-loved morsels that I feel like we may not need to do this anymore. I mean, we could potentially do one more, and we're probably pretty safe. I mean, obviously, I say this not having counted up exactly how many we've used or how many upgrades we still can do, but it still feels like there are a few familiars that we don't use very often that I imagine are not maxed out, and some of them, the ability to gather more materials, crafting materials, we've not upgraded that quite as aggressively. So, but we just picked up a few, so yeah, I think we're probably fine there. If anything, we could speculate that we might need more of these at some point. We have crafted a few. Still don't know what they're used for. Maybe they will be the mystery resource, in which case we'll be ready to go right off the bat, or at least have made some progress. Otherwise, we actually have not fully upgraded all of our Arcana. This is what you use for that, so maybe get just a little bit of that.
Dust from the shine of stars. This'll take a little while.
Just a tiny bit of time. But it doesn't seem like we can pass any time right now.
Thought for sure you would have given up by now.
Oh. Nope. That might not have even been an exclamation point above the head. That didn't really seem like a new and unique piece of dialogue, just a pretty generic sentiment. I do still think that Moros is going to have an important... Or not Moros. Hypnos is going to have an important part to play before everything is through here. What with him still being asleep.
Be at peace, O sleep.
And what with us technically communicating with Zagreus at the end of the runs via being asleep. I would think he would be the key to helping us transport that weapon from Zagreus' time into our time. Okay, let's plant you.
Grow strong.
Try to do this based on rarity. That's actually not rare. This, and then we'll try the mystery seed. Okay. No one else over here. So yeah, I think not a lot of stuff to do in town this time. Somewhat surprisingly, but it does seem to point toward us needing to do more runs, of course, before we can hit that critical threshold. Let's see if you have anything to say, Skelly.
Oh, hey.
What were you about to say?
I sense a great weight bearing down on you, young one. Not quite as bad as what old Atlas got, but still.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Lifting up the world.
What do you advise as my next move, Commander? To pursue our enemy in the underworld? Or come to the aid of Olympus?
The timing of this question is interesting. And I wonder how much we can read into whatever he says. It's probably going to be a joking remark, but we'll see.
Well, not to be all greedy here, but I say go wherever you can get the stuff you need the most right now. We got some stuff down here they don't got up there, and so on, right?
Or he gives us a generic response like this.
I suppose.
Okay.
Welcome to your new abode.
So.
Now.
Oh, sorry, Skelly. I didn't mean it, I swear. Bonus weapon, theoretically, is the blades, and it does seem as though even if we have now gotten one more successful run going down and have enough of the crafting resource from defeating Chronos to potentially permanently defeat him, we need at least one more successful run before or one more run of some variety, I don't even know if it needs to be successful, to get the secret ingredient to finish that recipe and the one to defeat Typhon as well, although we would need one more Zodiac Sand to get both of those crafting recipes done. So we'll figure that out next time round, but either way, this is the right time for us to wrap things up. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time.